and then saying thank you, and saying I will kill you. So it's better to be peaceful about things, because it's chaotic and it doesn't heal, and it gets worse if you say bad things. So it proves that your thoughts and your feelings about yourself and others affect you and others. So if you think badly about another, you are also doing it to your own cells, because it's hearing you. Because water that was in you is memory, and it used to be in the other people, because everything is there, everything and connected to everything. So everybody's freaking out about all these different diseases and things, when all we really need to do is focus on positive focus, eat healthy, pray, meditate, focus on good thoughts and feelings about others, and you're okay. That's it. That's all you have to do. And so instead of being upset about a neighbor or being frustrated, start praying for them. Start meditating about them, even if they won't do it with you. Do it with those that will do it, and put judgments aside and heal them. Love them. Care about them. It doesn't matter your belief system or religion. This is about coming together and healing. We have the power to do that. Science confirms it. Even religious information confirms it, and that's the next thing I'm going to share. So if I need to do another video, I will, but I'll try to put this as part of this video. Let's put this a little bit back. Okay. So I wrote this because of certain things that were happening to me, and I put this on my door of my place, and I put this pretty much on my walls and other places. This is stuff that I follow. So I say, be healed. So you speak things into being, and you write them and say them, so that when people read them, they see that that's the vibration that was put into it for them, and for all that read it and that see it. Even if you can't read it or see it, you're hearing it. And so I'm going to tell you. So on the top left, it says, be healed, I bless you, and loved ones, with a smiley face. And then at the top, it says, I love and bless all that read this, from my heart to yours. Also for all of you that are hearing it, I bless you too. Be healed, I bless you, and loved ones. The golden rule is the only rules. Now, if you're not hearing it or seeing it, but someone's telling you it, doing sign language or doing something because you can't hear or see, well then teach them it in the way that they communicate it, and they will be grateful, because they can heal. And in their heart will tell them, yes, this is something that works. But it's called the golden rule is the only rule. The one that I originally got this information was from an ethical class that I did. And the person that did this paper information originally, not the person that taught me, but wherever this came from, was by Rodney B. Romney. Now, I don't know if that's connected to Mitt Romney or other Romneys of political affiliation or popularity. I have no idea. Or religious organization. All I know is whoever this individual was, they realized information about the combination of all faiths and beliefs of awareness, but they're not fully aware. They're aware of the spiritual stuff, but I don't know if they know about the energy water studies like I do. But they kind of hinted to it without realizing that they did, because all the ancient studies actually are from the studies that were done. They come from ancient texts of all the different religions. And so this kind of hints to that knowledge of what to do, but it's just part of it. So the sacred writings of both major religions anticipate a peaceful kingdom, a time when human conflicts will cease and all people will live together in peace. And some people call that the Aquarius age. That's not on here. I'm just mentioning that. It should be clear to us now that this peaceful kingdom is not going to come through political strategy or military maneuvers, no matter how intelligent and necessary these may be for helping safety when they do safety. But if you're not doing it from the heart, then I would recommend to do it from the heart. The peaceful kingdom is only going to come by personal encounters on a one-to-one basis as people step across the boundaries of racial identity, cultural distinctions, historical animosities, and gender and sexual differences, and become friends with each other. In a world where perimeters shrink daily and where war has become an outmoded pastime, we must become one family. It is our greatest imperative. A simple rule guides us in this endeavor, sometimes called the Golden Rule. It finds expression in the world's greatest religions through expressed in slightly different ways in at least 10 of the major world religions. The basic meaning remains the same. It's in a lot of religions and cultures that this doesn't even talk about either. I'm sure of it. It's a native culture, Native American culture, native of other land cultures, Maori, whatever. They all hint to this knowledge. They've all been told by their ancestry about it because we all had connected ancestry at one time, or intermingled ancestry. So Hinduism, do not to others what's done to thee would cause thee pain. Now these aren't exactly what all the different breakoffs of the religions believe, or that their scriptures actually say. They're close to the actual awareness of what it was said, and most people would agree there's a little more to it. So Confucianism, do not unto others that what you would not that they should do unto you. But also don't do unto another is what I'm going to add, that you know the individual would not want to have done to them. It's not about what you don't want done unto you. It's also what they don't want unto them, right, with the struggles they're going through. So helping them in the way that they feel is needed is what is important. But if you don't feel comfortable with that because you think it's an addiction or a problem for them to do that for their health, then do it from the heart of what you can do for them that doesn't pressure them into something that they know would physically harm them or affect them. So if you're trying to push a disabled person to do things that could mess with their fracture or health issues that they've been doing that has been helping them, and you're trying to reverse that or think that they can do more, you need to let them do it in their time and their comfort, and just pray and meditate with them and focus on what they feel is important to them. Focus on their dream boards, their vision boards. Bless that into being with them. You don't need to know how it will happen. They'll get the inspiration, and you will too, to help them get there. And then once they have that, then they'll be able to do the other, or feel like they can more, because now they're less stressed and they're free and they have the funds to do those things. But here's the other thing: Islam. So Judaism is what is hurtful to yourself, do not do to another. And what is hurtful to another, don't do to them either. Islam is what I'm going to add to that. And so Islam, no one of you is a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. Now, I'm not against the religions of what they do. I have my thoughts of what is part of the healing method of how to heal and manifest. And that's what I'm commenting about, not trying to tell the religion how to think or be. I'm just putting my information on of what they did in the studies to heal that adds on to the pieces that are missing from these statements. It doesn't mean that the religions agree with what I'm saying. It means that the informations of the studies confirm how to actually manifest and heal. You don't believe that? Well, if you don't, then, but those that do, awesome. I'm gonna have a video of the great information of the non-medicine hospital that healed people under 3 minutes with bladder cancer tumor. The woman did, just by saying it's already done in their language. Qigong breathing technique, pretty cool. So Islam is no one of you is a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. Now, for those that are Christian or aware that everybody is equal, you would want to also think that those that do it for your sister, as if the sister is you, even if you're a brother or whatever. So it's not just brother, it's everyone. So do it for all. Everybody deserves freedom in my eyes. And so I'm a little bit different from the original Islam awareness, but they do mean to love others equally. But there are cultural beliefs of what they think they need to do based on what they were told out of respect to their God belief or connection of their culture. And a lot of those are changing to be more unified and come together for all rather than one side versus another. And that's how the manifesting healing works, is balancing and making men and women equal, and children are powerful with their prayers. So putting children and childlike prayer focus into that work. So Buddhism, and 5 ways you should minister to friends and family: by love, generosity, courtesy, benevolence, and by treating them as you treat yourself. As thou deemest thyself, so deem other. And this is Sikhism, and forgive me if I'm not saying these correctly. But as thou deemest thyself, so deem other, then shalt thou become partners in heaven. Jainism is happiness and suffering and joy and grief. We should regard all creatures as we regard our own self. That means animals, bugs, trees, plants, everything is connected to us. And we are them. They are us. Even if their soul isn't there or whatever. Some try to say that they don't have souls or whatever. They just have a different vibrational communication than we do. But we all communicate in our minds. So you can telepathically tell a bug to move, and it usually does if it's willing to. And if it feels it. But it'll feel you say it and you think it. But you don't do it in a rude way. You do it in a loving, caring way. Letting it know your full feelings and your concern. So then it'll be like, oh, am I bothering you? Okay, I'll get out of the way, I know. Because it'll understand your reasoning because of things that have happened to you before. And so it will usually respect you because you letting it know to move helps it so it knows that you won't hurt it. Because you don't want to hurt it. And so it won't want to hurt you because you don't want to hurt it. And so unless it's about hurting. And that's a different vibrational belief. So Jainism, in happiness and suffering, joy and grief, we should regard all creatures as we regard our own self. Because everything can heal, connect, and manifest. Zoroastrianism, that nature only is good when it shall not do unto another what is not good for itself. And then Taoism, regard your neighbor's gain as your own gain, and regard your neighbor's loss as your own loss. And the chart that we saw before was talking about pure Tao. That's what that means. It's gain and gain for all. and see a neighbor's loss as your own loss. So what do you do when you notice that someone lost something that really mattered to them? Or what would you like to be done for you? You would want it to be replaced or have something to make up for that loss, or have something so that you can still go through the lack of what you needed from it, what it helped you with. So when you see someone lose something, you want to be there for them just like you would want them to be there for you if they're able to. You know, it doesn't mean you want everybody to, because some people you may not get along with fully, but it's all about healing and manifesting full heart. So here we go. So Christianity is whatsoever you would that people do unto you, do ye even unto them. In the simple application of the golden rule, we have the means to change the course of history and to bring the people of this planet together as one family. So there you go. So that's that. And these are just a few things that I focus on. You don't really focus on a date or anything. Also have other numbers and things that connect with my lucky numbers and stuff like that, and angel numbers, and just different stuff from shows to focus on manifest stuff. And then I got my Jedi Knight code and credentials showing that I'm a minister that believes in the Force. That's why I got it. And then this is just my belief for my neighbors to have what they deserve, I feel they deserve to have spiritually, and I want them to have in their life. I want them to have the funds and the needs that they require, even if it's more than what I currently desire to have. I want them to have double above myself. So if I'm blessed, I want them to be doubly blessed above me. I want them to be able to be provided with their needs. I still require what I require, but I want them to have stuff above my needs so that they're taken care of, because I want to care for them even if they don't understand it. And I think about this for my own family, even if my family or others don't understand that either. I want them to have above me, and a lot of them do. All of them have houses and wives and children. And me, I'm still hoping for that. So they already have more than what I currently have. So they're already blessed in the way that I want to be blessed in. So and some of them, I always hope that they don't take it for granted. And I don't know if they take it for granted or not. But if they are grateful for what they have more, they'll have more peace in life rather than expecting it to come from me or others, because we want them to have peace anyway, even if they don't understand that we do. We just want them to do it in the way that they feel comfortable in. And so if we're not in their life, it's because we don't fit with what they would want us to be around them. And it doesn't mean that we're bad or they're bad. It just means that we both have dealt with different things. But the more they focus and appreciate what they have and the gratitude, and instead of thinking anything that we all get affected in at times, or we are being pushed to think negative about ourselves so we have more lack. No, appreciate what you already have, and then you'll get more. And so it's all about appreciation and love. So I have a lot of things that I put out there to show appreciation that I have it, so that it can stay in my life or have better things. And then I appreciate things that my parents and family or others have. And there you go. So I briefly showed my picture of my family, but I don't necessarily bond with all of them because we all have different vibrational focuses and beliefs. They follow their religion beliefs and their beliefs of what they dealt with and the struggles they chose to grow through. And they try to focus on seeming good. And for me, I do a lot more focus on peace and healing, and I want to be more about peace and healing all the time. I don't like the idea of arguing or lying about feelings, or judging people for choosing to swear about their feelings about things, or thinking that swearing is wrong. Swearing is only wrong if you're using it in the context of to cause hate and vibrational damage, meaning it's all about your focus. So I have these different things up here. I always believed in a Christ form, but I kind of believe, I don't think Christ is necessarily white. I think he's probably the Arab form or whatever he was. I just have this because that is a form, similar form that I saw in a vision myself, but I don't agree with this dictation of that church necessarily, of what they did with that penny. I saw a form of Christ that came and hugged me and said everybody's okay, even atheists. I was like, what? Huh? And it was really weird, but it was really cool because I was suffering cancer and other things, and I wasn't doing any meds or anything. I was actually doing healthy or going towards healthy stuff at the time, and I was told that I'd be drawn to healthier things, and I'd be told what to do to get away from GMO foods and other things to get more natural. And I was drawn to a blood doctor. I was drawn to different things. And then I found this paper that I had and realized the connection. The Golden Rule is the only rule paper I discussed. So there you go. So that's this recording. So this will probably break up into 2 separate recordings. Now that we have done that, we're going to go into something else. I'm not going to pause it because right now I'm just going into relaxing status. Let's get into... Oh, this is where it gets fun. We're going to go YouTube. Now this information, and if I have to do another video, I will. This information is going to be about... It's going to be really cool. I'm excited for this. Just have to get into my account. Bless, 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 bless. Being happy and focusing on positive focuses can correct delays and issues in life. So my name is Samuel Durbridge. There's a picture of me. See? Oh, hey. And there's me at the top. Anyway, that's me right there. Okay. So, that's just me when I was outdoors at one time, enjoying time at a park that I liked. Okay. Relaxing. Doing what I can with my physical needs. Health needs. So I kind of was just sitting there and relaxing, drinking and walking with my leg braces or others at the time. But all of that can change through belief. Oh, these are different meditation techniques. Let's go. Library. Oh, come on. I wanted to do braided information, so I may just have to do it a different way here. Bear with me. Doing this one-handed is a fun balancing technique. Alright. Let's do this. So first I'm going to do the most important one that I feel is good. This is 10 minutes.
It takes about 72 hours is what the studies are showing. About 3 days.
Alright, that's a little loud.
If you are choosing to create something new and it doesn't come to you easily at first, please do not give up.
Okay, I'm going to zoom up.
About at least 3 days for these antennas to wire. That is because the information is not in here.
What?
Just to add to this, how real this is, researchers in Silicon Valley are now building the next generation computer chips, and guess what? They're not based on silicon. They're based on droplets of water that are purified and very, very specific forms of structured water. And when they started pumping the information into that droplet of water, the water droplet was holding more information that could possibly be explained by the chip itself. And they said, where's the information going? And now they know that the chip, based in water, is storing information in a field that expands beyond the machine itself. Our identity is not...
This is Bruce Lipton that you're hearing now. The other was Greg Braden.
Our identity is picked up by protein antennas on the surface of our cells. The reality is, our source is from the outside, and the signals get picked up by the proteins and then control the cells on the inside. This field provides three functions. It is the container, the field that connects all things. It is the container for everything that happens in our experience. Nothing exists beyond this container. It's the container. It is the bridge between our inner and our outer world, and it is the mirror in our external world for what we claim to believe in our inner world. This is the field. The body is like a television.
So we're the mirror reflected. What we see around us is just a mirror reflection of what's within us.
At a level of communicate. This is a virtual reality suit. You jump into the suit, you drive it around, the experiences of the suit are sent back to source. That's where we start to recognize your brain activity is not contained in your head. You can use magnetoencephalograph probes outside of your head, and you can read your brain activity.
Yeah, and they did this.
Broadcasting back to the field. And that's why we can see a sunset. We can taste that chocolate. We can smell that rose. How many of you saw the movie The Matrix? So remember in The Matrix, when they would hook that little gadget to the back of their neck and they would download the programs and learn those things almost immediately. Remember that? The equivalent of that is what we did together in here yesterday. When we choose
meditation.
to make those changes in our lives, Bruce is saying you can't do it through your conscious mind. When you create the heart-brain
harmony,
that coherence, it's called the optimum heart-brain coherence. When you got that 0.1 hertz signal between your heart and your brain, that opens the door to the subconscious. That's the equivalent of plugging that cable in right at the base of your skull.
your subconscious is God. Okay? So believe that the subconscious within you that's trying to give you dreams and insights and things, believe that that is God. Once you realize that is God speaking to you, you can think, well, is God loving or is God hateful? And focus on loving and peaceful, trusting in that connection for those that believe in God, and you'll be okay.
You will wake up every day with the glory of being in the most spectacular planet and the ability to create life.
Yeah, trust the vibes in you. They never lie.
The words sometimes they seem awkward. You learn phonetically, and you say the words,
but don't
really mean much.
prejudge. Judge with your heart in love and peace and forgiveness. Heal all.
You know how that happens.
That's the vibe.
Like almost overnight, you say, well, what happened?
For healing.
Here's what the science is now telling us. All possibilities exist as information in the field. The information is not in the cells. What we do in the cells is we grow, and Bruce, it's exactly the term I use, what are called soft antennae. So the way that the neurons wire and fire create the antenna that tune to the place in the field where that information lives. It is the very act, of you striving to become more in one moment than you were in the last moment. It's the act of you reaching deep within yourself to grasp a new way of thinking. So a new language, or a new song on a guitar, a piano, or a new book to write, or a new title, or new poetry, or new sculpture, new art, whatever it is, that act is the impetus for the neurons to wire together to create the antenna that reach into the field where that information lives that you are asking to have access to. But the thing is, it doesn't happen spontaneously. It takes about 72 hours, is what the studies are showing.
These are military studies,
so it takes about 3 days for these neurons to hook up.
And it was in the Gateway program, studies that the Army did that the CIA disclosed in 2003.
So that they're forming the antenna that tune to the place in the field where
because other people talked about it, so they had to disclose it.
Understand or know or create or form, it already exists. If you are choosing to create something new and it doesn't come to you easily at first, please do not give up. Because it takes about at least 3 days for these antennas
to do it on your own.
That is because the information is not in here. It is in the field. And that could not happen.
Takes 3 days if you do it on your own. If you do it with others, it's faster.
We have to recognize something very important, and that is
only 5% of the day are you operating from your conscious creative mind, and 95% of the day you're operating from subconscious programs. But then I said, well, what would happen if you stopped playing the program? And the answer is so wonderful, because all of you have taken that red pill at some point, and that was when you fell deeply in love with somebody. I said, what was happening when you fell deeply in love? And I said, for the first time in your life, you stopped thinking, because everything you wanted is now right in front of your face. And when you stop thinking and you become what is called mindful, then you are in absolute control. I said, look, your life would suck every day until you met this person, and then heaven. In 24 hours later, you can experience heaven. And what was the difference? You stopped thinking and started being present. And so it becomes important.
So you focused on the feelings of what you had that you loved, that you could do all day with, and you became present with that feeling, that it could happen forever, and it's the best feeling you've ever felt, and you want that connection because you finally found it. You finally feel that that relief has showed up. And even if it was a false belief of happiness for that time, it felt real, and you made it real, and so that's why the peace stayed there. But once you started to not be that way and focus on all your worries and stress and concerns, that's why all the other stuff happened, because you were focusing on what you didn't want. So keep that focus of love heart where you can do it all day and you'll be good.
You could be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 plus years, and you're still using the habit program. So the emphasis on subconscious is not to change easily, because if it does, then habits don't exist. So the issue is, then how can you change the subconscious mind? And there are two fundamental ways, because the first, these are natural ways. How did you learn in the first 7 years? Hypnosis. So auto-hypnosis is a way of putting it in the program and transforming your life. After age 7, how did you learn after age 7? Repetition. You repeat it. You made it a habitual habit out of the thing that you wanted. And so this is where the fake it till you make it part comes in. But the issue about it is you have to recognize the biggest error that we have is that we think that if our conscious mind just became aware of something, that our subconscious mind has that information. Absolutely not. So if you want to transform and you want to get out of the old program, just educating the conscious mind will not do that. You have to do some exercise.
You have to believe it in your heart. You got to make the belief happen, the feeling to be recognized, and the feeling and thoughts will come as one, because the unconscious mind reacts to the feeling noticing. It goes by the vibration.
Programmer of your own life.
You become the program of your own life. So there you go. That's not sure what's going on there.